Hey, what's up, guys? Goose here, man, and come back at you with a mock draft. How to redo it? I something happened with the something redoing this video. Something happened with the audio with the first one. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to it. Ring the notification bell. Click all notifications. We do live streams on this channel, sports and other stuff. All right, so let's get right down to it. As I'll put a link in the description to this site I found. You're able to do some mock drafts. You can pick for every team, or you can do they'll pick for you. And that's what I did. But I did pick for the Saints. So I did pick for the Saints. But every other team it did the mock for it. All right, let's get right off the bat. We have Cincinnati Bengals on the clock as they pick a -- 1 in the draft, as they're going to pick Joe Burrow. I think this is a great pick for the Bengals. I agree with this pick, as Cincinnati, they need some kind of a some positive in their football team, as Joe Burrow should bring that to them, as he's from Ohio. The guy won the Heisman, won the national championship, so Joe Burrow should be the easy pick there for the Bengals. Right, number 2 on the list is the Washington Redskins. They're up on the clock, and they have them picking Chaisson, defensive and edge rusher from Ohio State. Also, I agree with this pick also, as Chaisson is probably one of the more dominant defensive linemen in the league last season. He deserved all the awards he won. He was a Heisman finalist as he went to New York. But Chaisson, I think that's a good pick with the Redskins. They went and got a quarterback last year in Haskins. Jury's still out on him. I don't think Redskins should take a quarterback. I don't think they should. I don't think drafting Tua would be a good wise decision for them, just because of what they have invested in Haskins. All right, next on the list is the Detroit Lions, and they have them picking Jeffrey Okudah, the cornerback from Ohio State, probably the best corner in the draft, and they had them going to the Detroit Lions. Another pick that I agree with 100%, as I think that'd be a good pick for Detroit, as gives them help in the defensive backfield. All right, next on the list, pick number 4 is the New York Giants. Now, some of their fans are a little on a limb on this. Should they go offensive line? Should they go defense? If they want to protect Daniel Jones, which I totally understand. He's your franchise quarterback, but Isaiah Simmons might be too good to pass up, as this mock draft has Isaiah Simmons going to the New York Giants. I mean, this guy can cover, he can rush the passer. So if the Giants do take him, you probably won't see Giant fans upset too much. All right, next on the list is the Miami Dolphins picking number 5, and they have Miami taking Tua Tagovailoa, as a quarterback from Alabama, coming off a hip injury. And if Tua can stay healthy, I think Tua will be a very, very good quarterback. But of course, they're going to have to protect him. They're going to have to give him receivers to throw the ball to. Going to have a running game. So Miami has a lot of things to work out. But drafting Tua is probably the best decision Miami can make at number 5, just because of the upside Tua has. I know he has injuries. He's got to stay healthy, but I think at 5, I don't think you can pass on Tua. All right, number 6. This was a little interesting, as this mock draft had Los Angeles Chargers taking Tristan Wirfs, the offensive tackle out of Iowa. I personally wouldn't pick this pick in this mock draft, but this is what it picked. So this is what I'm going to go with. So Tristan Wirfs, he's a very good offensive lineman with I'm about to call him San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers. But I still think they need to address the quarterback position after losing Phillip Rivers. But for this mock draft, they haven't taken Tristan Wirfs. All right, next on the list is the Carolina Panthers, as they have the Panthers taking Derrick Brown, defensive lineman out of Auburn. This guy is a very good defensive lineman. Played good against LSU. Played good against Alabama. He's tough to block. The Panthers trying to reshape their franchise. I think this would be a good pick for Carolina. As a Saints fan, I would hate to have to go against Derrick Brown twice a year, but hey, it is what it is. All right. Next on the list is the Arizona Cardinals. Of course, Arizona, they went out, had Kyler Murray last season in the draft. Then they went and got the trade, but DeAndre Hopkins is going to the Cardinals from the Texans. Don't get me started on that, because Houston, I think Houston got raped on that trade. But they have them taking Jedrick Wills, also tackle from Alabama. I think that's a good pick. I agree. I agree with that pick. If that ends up being the pick for the Cardinals, because it just gives them somebody to protect their franchise quarterback. Jedrick Wills is an outstanding offensive lineman from Alabama. I think that'd be a good pick for Arizona. All right, next on the list we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have them taking Javon Kinlaw, defensive lineman out of South Carolina, as Jacksonville. They themselves too. They trying to find out how they want to go. Do they want? I mean, is Minshew going to be the quarterback of the future there? Looks like maybe they. I don't know. We'll see if Minshew. But they moved on from Foles. As Foles left, so I guess they are going to be stuck with Minshew, right? So I think so. They Javon Kinlaw, defensive lineman out of South Carolina. I know this is a good pick. It's a good pick for the Jaguars. This guy was a good defensive lineman for South Carolina. They weren't very good team wise, but it's a good pick for them. All right, next list we have the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns picking number 10, as they're going to pick Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle out of Georgia. This guy's probably the best tackle in the draft. What he didn't allow a penalty or sack all year. It was one of those. Came over the ones, but man, this guy's good. This guy Andrew Thomas is very, very good, and of course need to protect Baker Mayfield. They know the Browns. They're supposed to be really, really well. People thought they were going to be really, really good last season. Turned out to be not. But I think their head coach Freddie Kitchen was a flake. I think this would be a good pick for Cleveland. All right, next on the list is we have, the New York Jets. New York Jets, they lost Robbie Anderson into free agency, but they did pick up another guy in a free agency. But do they need defensive help, or do they need offensive help? But this draft has them picking Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of Alabama. So they have Jerry Jeudy going first, the wide receiver position. I think this would be a good pick for the Jets. I think they need offensive help. And more playmakers you have on the offensive side of the ball is better. This is an offensive league. It's not a defensive league anymore. Of course, you have to play defense. I get that, but you also have to score points. So Jerry Jeudy going to the Jets. I like that pick. So next on the list is the Las Vegas Raiders. They have them taking Henry Ruggs out of Alabama. They have Henry Ruggs being the second receiver taken in the draft, going to the Raiders. Raiders got Marcus Mariota in the offseason. I guess they're going to move away from Derek Carr, obviously. So Henry Ruggs, good receiver, young receiver, a lot of talent. If I was a Raiders, I probably would do that pick too. All right, now next on the list is the San Francisco 49ers, picking up at 13. Finally, CeeDee Lamb goes off the board. CeeDee Lamb goes to San Francisco, as he'll be the third receiver taken in the draft, according to this draft. And CeeDee Lamb goes to Frisco. They lost Emmanuel Sanders. They're going to have to replace that. And this is a young guy. CeeDee Lamb, probably the best receiver in the draft. But they have him going to San Francisco. All right, next on the list is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as they have him taking Mekhi Becton, offensive tackle out of Louisville. A lot of teams are high on this guy out of Louisville. This is another outstanding offensive lineman. As Tampa, they got to protect the ageless Tom Brady. So good pick for the Tampa Bay if this ends up being that. All right, next on the list is the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos, they're picking number 15, and they had them picking Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver from LSU. Of course, LSU set all kind of records last season. Jefferson Jefferson probably wasn't going to come out as a junior, but he had an outstanding season. There was no way he would come back for a senior year after the season they had last year. And Justin Jefferson goes to the Denver Broncos. Good pick for them. All right, the Atlanta Falcons. They had them picking number 16, and they actually had them picking defense C.J. Henderson, cornerback out of Florida. Now, this guy is also an outstanding cornerback. And one of the mock drafts I did, when I actually picked the players, I did a mock draft several weeks ago. I actually had Atlanta picking C.J. Henderson. I thought this would be a good pick for them. So I think he can help them out on the defensive end of the field. All right, next on the list is we have the Dallas Cowboys picking number 17. They had them picking Chaisson, the edge rusher out of LSU, as Chaisson very good edge rusher. He didn't really put up many big stats as LSU fans hope, but he did rush the passer pretty well throughout his career. Hurt his knee. I'm sorry, yeah, hurt his knee because he tore his knee up in the game in 2018, the first game against the Hurricanes. Came back this year for his junior season and helped LSU win a national championship. They have him going to the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, Cowboys, I think the drafting defense would be the right pick in the first round because I think they're pretty set on offense. So good pick for the Cowboys. All right, next on the list we had the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins picking number 18 as they have them picking Josh Jones, offensive tackle out of Houston. So Miami, Miami went and got Tua Tagovailoa in the first first pick in the first pick of the draft. Not the first pick in this round, but their first pick in this round. And why not get offensive lineman to protect him? Josh Jones, offensive tackle out of Houston. All right, next on the list we have the Las Vegas Raiders picking again, as they pick in number 19, as they have them picking Kristian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU. Of course, Stingley got a lot of pub, rightfully so. But Fulton is also a very, very good cover corner. You rarely heard his name called last season. If you don't hear a cornerback's name called in a game, that's a good sign. So Kristian Fulton going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Next on the list is we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're picking for the second time in this round, as they have taken Xavier McKinney, safety out of Alabama. So they have them taking defense twice. Xavier McKinney, outstanding safety from Alabama. Guy's a very good player. So Jacksonville, that's a good pick for Jacksonville, I think. All right, next on the list is we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles on the clock. And they have them taking Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma. A lot of people, including myself, think this guy is the best linebacker in the draft. And this mock draft has the Eagles taking him. Good pick for the Eagles. As no man, not really. I know the Eagles. They lost Jenkins in the offseason, but of course he's a safety. But yeah, Kenneth Murray's a good player. Kenneth Murray is a very, very good player. So if the Eagles do indeed draft him, I think they're going to get an outstanding player that can help out their defense. So if I was an Eagles fan, I probably would not be too upset with this pick. All right, next on the list is the Minnesota Vikings, as they pick number 22, as they have him taking Yetur Gross-Matos, the edge rusher from Penn State, to Minnesota. Minnesota had a lot of success rushing the passer against the Saints. Not really too. I don't know if they really in a need of a pass rusher, but this guy has potential of being a very good player in the NFL. So, remains to be seen if Minnesota takes him at 22, but this mock draft has them taking him. All right, next on the list is the New England Patriots, and I can't believe that they have this guy falling this far. It's Justin Herbert. They have Justin Herbert falling all the way to 23. I don't think he's going to fall at 23, but like I said, this mock draft has him falling all the way to 23. So would New England take him at 23? If I was New England, I would. Because you're going to have to get the quarterback of the future. I don't know if Stidham is that guy. So they have New England. They have Herbert going to the Pats. All right, next we got is the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints picking, as they had them picking Patrick Queen, linebacker out of LSU. This guy played phenomenal last half of the season. Had big games against Alabama. Had a big game against Clemson. So Patrick Queen, awesome player. As if this guy's on the board when the Saints pick, if he's available, if Kenneth Murray is gone, I think this should be the pick for the Saints. All right, then we have the Minnesota Vikings picking 25, Trevon Diggs, cornerback out of Alabama, another Alabama player going in the first round. Trevon Diggs, good cover corner for the Tide. Could really help out the Vikings defensive backfield. Good pick for the Vikings. Next on the list is we have the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins pick. This is their third pick in the first round. As this time they have him taking defense. Grant Delpit, safety out of LSU. He was a Thorpe Award winner last year. He played much better. He played much better his junior year than his senior year. So Grant Delpit. He was only he was a junior this year. He played better his sophomore year. He was a junior this year, excuse me. And but I think that was just like an achievement award for Delpit to win this award. So they have Delpit going 26 to the Miami Dolphins. All right, next we have the Seattle Seahawks. It's A.J. Epensa. edge rusher out of Iowa. Actually, I looked at him. He's another guy I looked at. If the Saints were picking at 24, if Murray and Patrick Queen was going, he's one guy I was looking at. This I wouldn't really be too upset if the Saints actually went that route if this guy was the only one available. If Queen was going and Murray was going. But Seattle, they have Seattle taking him at 27. 28 is Baltimore. Another edge rusher, Zach, it's a linebacker. It's Zach Ball, a linebacker out of Wisconsin. Another guy. This guy had like over 12 sacks last season for the Badgers. This guy can rush the passer. Another guy that could be available. Could be available when the Saints pick. You know, I say he'll probably be available, but Patrick Queen might not be available. So this might be a guy that Saints need to look at if Queen and Murray are going. All right, they may have the Tennessee Titans as they have Tennessee Titans have Austin Jackson, offensive tackle from USC. As I know they signed Tannehill to that big contract. I mean that's a lot of money to pay Tannehill, but this is about the draft, so I guess you want to protect your $28 million man, right? So why not go protect him with the offensive tackle Austin Jackson out of USC? Next on the list is the Green Bay Packers, and they have Green Bay drafting Tee Higgins, wide receiver out of Clemson. This guy is an outstanding talent. I think Green Bay does need some more help at the receiver position to help out Aaron Rodgers, as Tee Higgins, outstanding talent, going to the Packers. Next on the list is the San Francisco 49ers, as they have them taking Jeff Gladney, cornerback out of TC, another guy that's really rated high in the cornerback. Jeff Gladney, as Frisco's going to have to replace Buckner. So I think that's a good pick for Frisco to get Gladney. And then last pick of the first round is the Kansas City Chiefs, and they have them taking running back DeAndre Swift out of Georgia. Interesting pick there. If that's the pick, not too sure if KC needs a running back, but DeAndre Swift, he was a very good player for Georgia. He was hurt in the SEC title game, but I think he has a talent to be a very good running back. But running backs are just a dime a dozen now in the league. It's just not a running back league anymore. I don't know if I'd take one in the first round. Just because I think there's more pressing needs in the NFL than a running back. But they have them, DeAndre Swift, going. So let me know what you guys think. I'll put the link in the description to this site for this mock draft. And then also I'll put a list of all the teams. I know nobody wants to watch a 20-minute video, so then you can see where your team picked in the first round. Have a great one, and I'll see you next time.